Hey there everyone, welcome to Software's classes. So in front of you is a question from Indian Economic Service on green national income. But before that, you have been asked to differentiate between gross national product, that is GNP, national income and disposable income. So let us first try to understand these three concepts and also try to derive disposable personal income from GNP, and then we will discuss about green national income. So to begin with, first of all, let us talk about national income, right? So, national income, when we talk about national income, it is basically the money value of all final goods and services produced within the national boundary in a different particular time period, right? That is national income. Now, national income and personal income, there are these two terms. So what is the difference between these two terms? Okay, let us first try to understand that. National income, like every other income that we receive, is not a part of national income. So what is national income then? National income is only that part of our income that is through participation in any productive work. Yes, so you are participating in any productive work and you are earning. So that becomes your national income. For example, you're going to job and you're earning wages as a labor, rent from capital, right? Profits from organization, etc. So these are all the part of national income, because in order to generate the money value in these type of procedure, there is something that is being added to the economy. So that is why these are all part of national income. But there are certain income, so these are income earned. Okay, and personal income is basically definitely income earned, and also there are different ways of receiving income. Okay, receiving income means you are actually not participating in any particular productive work, but you are gaining some money value. Okay, for example, transfer payments. What are the example of transfer payments? Let us discuss. So transfer payments example are um, pensions, unemployment assistance by the government that they give. So these are all the types of funds that you receive. Okay, but you're not actually doing something productive. You're just receiving this money. Other examples can be lottery also. Like all of a sudden you are just winning a lottery, and that becomes your income received. Then there are capital gains. Okay, then there are capital gains. What are capital gains? Suppose you buy a land today and sell that piece of land tomorrow. So suppose today you are buying that land for at a price of around say 2 or 3 lakhs. Okay, and later on you are going to sell that particular land at say 5 or 6 lakhs rupees. So the gain that you get after just selling, the reselling the land, is your part of capital gains, right? So these type of income are income received and definitely part of personal income, but not national income. But national income, like whatever income an individual is earning as well as receiving together, is the part of personal income. Now let us start to derive our disposable personal income from GDP and GNP. So next is GNP, that is our gross national product, right? So what is gross national product? So gross national product is basically money value of all final goods and services, money value of final goods and services produced by domestically owned factors of production, by domestically owned factors of production. By domestically owned factors of production. So what do you mean by domestically owned factors of production? Means by factors of production here we are talking about labor and capital. So these labor and capital, like whether American MNC companies are going to invest in India, or any Indian is working in company in America. So these are what? So the factors here, if I'm talking about the American investing here, so the capital belongs to America. Indian working in American companies, so the factor, that is the labor, belongs to India. So here, from wherever this particular factor of production belongs to, and the money value that particular capital or the labor is generating is part of the GNP. So that is our gross national product. So then what is GDP? Gross domestic product. GDP, that is gross domestic product. So what is this then? So gross domestic product is basically money value of all final goods and services, money value of all final goods and services produced within the domestic, or let's say national boundary. National boundary within a given period of time. Within a given period of time, right? So that means when I'm talking about GNP, that is gross national product, I'm talking about the domestically owned factors of production. And when I'm talking about GDP, that means I'm talking about the boundary where the money value is generated. So GNP is technically by whom the money value is being generated, so from where that particular factor of production belongs to. And in GDP, where is this money generated? The national boundary that we are talking about. So let me give you a small example, then it will be easy. Say example, an Indian is working in America in American company. So this is the scenario. Now when I'm talking about Indian, that means the salary or the wage of Indian, right? So Indian means domestically owned by India. So GNP of India, right? And money value in America. So the national boundaries of America, so GDP of America. So this is how we differentiate the GDP and GNP. So that means if I want to calculate GDP from GNP or GNP from GDP, that means I have to make few factor payments to and from abroad, subtract it and add it to gain the result. So that means GDP, that is gross domestic product, is equals to GNP. Now when I'm calculating GDP, so when I'm calculating GDP, that means within the national boundary the money value can be generated by the domestic people as well as by those who are coming from abroad, right? So that means this will include not only the income generated by say Indian in India, but also the foreigners who are investing or coming and working in India, right? So that means I am going to subtract factor payments from abroad, because in GNP I have all the money value generated by those who are outside India, outside the national boundary. So when I'm calculating GDP, I cannot include that, so I have to subtract it, right? So from abroad means those who are working abroad but is actually the national or domestically owned. I have to subtract that money from GNP. And again, GNP do not include the foreign abroad money, so that I have to add. So I will now add the factor payments to abroad. right? So this is our GDP from GNP. So similarly, I can write down GNP from GDP, that is GNP is equals to GDP. So this will now become minus because I have to subtract the payments to abroad. So GDP minus factor payments to abroad plus I have to add the factor payments from abroad, that is the domestically owned factors of production, labor, or let's say capital. So factor payments from abroad. So this is our formula of GNP. Now this GNP is calculated at, this GDP, this is calculated at market price. This GNP is actually calculated at market price. Market price is means what? This includes the indirect taxes and subsidy is not included. So whenever we are going to try and find out the actual value of the product, so we have to find out the particular product at the factor cost to calculate the national income, and that we will see how we are going to calculate one by one. So this is our GNP at market price. Now whatever gross we have, that is gross domestic product or gross national product, if we subtract the depreciation cost, we get our net products, right? So next is our NDP at market price. Okay, that is equals to gross domestic product minus depreciation cost, right? So this is our net domestic product. Similarly, net national product, that is NNP at market price is equals to GNP minus depreciation cost, right? So this is our net national product. So all this is at market price, right? So from NNP, that is our net national product, we can calculate our national income. That is, if we consider the net national product at factor prices, that is not at the market price, that means we have to subtract the indirect taxes and add subsidy. If we do that, we can calculate NNP at factor price, and that will be our national income. So the next step is national income. That is national income is equals to NNP at factor cost. So this is net national product at factor cost. So this is equals to NNP at market price plus subsidy minus the indirect taxes. So if we do this part, we get the national income. We can calculate national income. Okay. From national income, now we can calculate personal income. So in the very beginning of this particular answer, I have told you the difference between national income and personal income, right? So we have to subtract few terms and add few terms to the national income in order to calculate the personal income of an individual, right? So let's see what are these. So the next one is personal income, okay? Personal income. Personal income, that is PI, is equals to, what is it? Personal income PI is equals to, first of all, I will write down the national income that I have got, that I have calculated. From here, I'm going to make few subtractions, like which are going to be subtracted from this income earned, total income earned, okay, national income. First one is all the group earning points, right? For example, corporate profits, the undistributed corporate profits, that is the profit of the organization, and that we have to subtract from the national income of the individual, because I'm going to consider the personal income of the individual. That's why. So national income minus undistributed corporate profits. Okay, this is one. Minus, again I'm going to subtract all the interest payments. For example, you have home loan, car loan, or whatever different type of loans that you have to pay. So those are all the interest payments. That we will subtract, okay? And social contributions. If you make any social contributions, so that is from your income, national income. So all these are subtracted. Now there are different ways in which you are receiving income which you are not earning. So that is definitely the part of your personal income but not national income. So let us add those factors. What are the factors? For example, you got bonus from your company, right? So that is a sudden money that you have received and actually not part of your income, right? So dividends, bonus, etc., these can be part of your personal income but that you just received suddenly. So let's write down plus dividends, plus what else, like you are paying interest rates, you are also gaining interest rates, say from different types of capital, bonds, shares, or property that you have, so you can earn interest rates. So net interest rate earnings. And finally, let's write down the transfer payments. Transfer payments like pension, etc., from where you are the money that you receive from the government. So if we add and subtract these factors from national income, I can calculate the personal income of an individual. Now the last one is our disposable personal income, that is DPI. Disposable means that is the leftover after what? After paying the taxes to the government. So disposable income is equals to the personal income that is left after paying direct taxes to the government. So what are direct taxes? Example, income tax. So these type of taxes, after that you have paid it to the government, whatever the remaining you have, that is your disposable income. So disposable income is personal income minus direct taxes. Now with the leftover income, what are you going to do? You will either consume or save. So DPI is equals to PI minus direct taxes, or DPI is equals to C plus S. So both these formulas are correct for disposable personal income. So here we have discussed what GNP is, what national income is, what DPI, that is disposable personal income, is, and we have also seen the formulas of each and every measures. Now the last part of the question is green GDP. What is green GDP? Okay, green GDP. Green GDP and how can you calculate it? So basically green GDP is when we subtract all the different types of environmental degradation or cost faced by the environment, as well as add different type of expenditure made on the government. That is our green GDP. So green GDP is equals to GDP minus carbon dioxide emission plus, let's say, other particulate emission, different type of emission that pollutes basically, that is subtracted, okay, minus opportunity cost of resource depletion. Resource depletion means what? Resource depletion means it can be any natural resources, it can be forests, it can be mineral, etc. So the resource that is being depleted and is getting extinct, so that is the opportunity cost of using those, right? So these will be subtracted, and addition is expenditure made on restoring environment. Any kind of expenditure that is made to save the environment, that is included in the GDP, and every other type of cost that damages the environment is subtracted. So the net result is the green GDP. Okay, so this is our green GDP.